Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing well. In this video, I would like to show you my POV from the Manufacturers Cup race I've done yesterday, which was with the Group 3 cars at Interlagos. And on the very same time, you're also about to see my best qualifying attempt I've done during the qualifying session yesterday. What I can say about my qualifying lap here itself is that my first sector was really good, considering like the amount of time trial laps I've done previously. For this car, like if you were able to do like a low 0.1 or like even a high 0.0-ish in sector 1, you can consider that as a really good sector here. But unfortunately, once we entered sector 2, on the braking zone, I kinda touched the grass on the right hand side, which kinda led to my front right tire having a bit of dirt, and thus the car understeering a little bit for the exit for like on the very first corner of sector 2 there, where I run slightly off the track, which also cost me a little bit of lap time here. But nevertheless, because of me attending the MIA School of Race Engineering online course for the race communication module yesterday, I wasn't able to do the first slot as well as the second slot yesterday, but even so, I still had enough time to do the last slot of the day. And the lobby you are seeing here is pretty much the second split of slot 3. So even though there were already like very fast drivers managing to secure the points before, we still had a really strong field in this lobby here. And as you can see here, we managed to get pole position first, but then afterwards we dropped down to P2, and you can also see the gaps here. Like, look at the gaps from P1 up to P3 being so close to each other. It's quite insane. But in the end, OWLS managed to improve his lap time here, so that meant that the gap between ourselves became a bit bigger in the end. But nevertheless, we are going to start the race from P2. What I can say about this race here itself is that unfortunately there wasn't really or let me rephrase myself. Because of the tire well multiplier as well as the fuel consumption multiplier rate being set to ×1, and on the same time that we only had to use the hard tire compound for this race for 13 laps, meant that there wasn't really a strategy involved for this race, where for example you had to pit in order to change your tires, or even refuel for some of the other races we've done previously, maybe in order to undercut the driver in front of you, or maybe for you to try and overcut in order to gain a position in the end. That wasn't really the case for this race here. So this race was pretty much a sprint race. Unfortunately, if I can say that, because if there was strategy involved, it would have been quite interesting. But nevertheless, because of this race having another custom slipstream setting here, you're also about to see that the slipstream strength, which has been used for this race here, was really strong. So even though let's say you managed to get pole position quite comfortably for the qualifying session here, like from the qualifying session I mean, and you were starting the race from pole position, if you had few cars being right closely behind of you, you were not really able to pull away, unfortunately. So yeah, like from my position here, because with the RC set I kind of struggled a little bit to stay closely to my competitors here nearby. Obviously I welcome the slipstream strength here, because that helped me to stay in touch with the Porsche driver in front of me. But on the same time, what I also would like to I'm sorry, let me rephrase myself once again. What I also would like to mention already is, unfortunately my connection has not been the best for this race once again. As you can see here, on the very same time, OWLS was already lagging a little bit right in front of me. And if you also pay attention to the left hand side, sometimes you're also able to see that my connection will drop from 3 bar down to 1 bar at some time, which is not really ideal, especially if I would like to try and have a really clean and a fun race against all the other drivers here on the very same lobby. And there's also going to be a case where, from my point of view, I was leg punted by the AVA driver who's currently in P4 right now. But on the very same time, Velasco, or like Sparks, who is at P5 right now, he kindly shared the replay from his POV afterwards. Well, I will also like to show you how my car, or pretty much how my connection was like from the other driver's point of view. So please do not insult AVA because he's a really clean driver. It's mainly because of my connection being so bad recently. Well, I can only apologize in the end for my connection being that bad once again, which is really frustrating. But yeah, anyway. But as for this race here, I will also not talk till the end of the race here because there's not really much to talk about it. But as for the strategy, there's no strategy involved here. But at the beginning, I was trying not to fight too much so that we can kind of keep our position here. And if I was staying in P2 for a very long time, then I would have tried to battle for the win towards the end of the race. Because if we start fighting against each other right now, then all the other drivers who are already right closely behind of us, they would close the gap to us and also have a chance to potentially overtake us in the end, which wasn't really my goal or my ambition here. But nevertheless, what I can say here for this race itself here was, for this race specifically, it was really, really fun. I really enjoyed fighting and battling against all the other drivers here on the very same time. All of them were really, really clean and also really, really fast. Even though this has been split 2 on the very last slot we've done yesterday, their pace has still been really, really astonishing. So that's really, really great to see that we have so many fast drivers in Gran Turismo. Obviously, you have like your world champion level of drivers, such as Valerio, Jose, and all the other world champions there. But nevertheless, it's really great to see that we have so many fast drivers on Gran Turismo right now who also have the potential of becoming world champions one day. But yeah, this is the lap where I'm going to get leg punted here from my POV, and afterwards you're about to see the POV from Velasco on the very same time. Because on the left hand side you can see that my connection dropped down to 1 bar, but now look at this. Like when I saw it for the very first time, I was speechless. Like, I've lost for words because I didn't really know how to describe at this case here right now. Because if I was in Velasco's situation, like even an AVA situation, then I would have panicked potentially. Because let's say if you are aiming or like if you're already entitled to go into a corner, right? And on the very same time you see this happening right in front of you, and not even right in front of you, but also right closely in front of you, that obviously you're going to potentially brake even more because you don't want to end up in a collision potentially, or like you don't want to make any contact with the lagging car in front of you, right? So I was kind of speechless when I saw that. Obviously I had to laugh in the end, but yeah, I was just lost for words. So this is why I would like to ask you guys not to insult AVA in the end, because he didn't mean to do it. And we were also having a really clean battle afterwards, which you are about to see soon. So because of that, yeah, it's mainly my connection being that bad, unfortunately. But other than that, also at the end of the video, I would like to show you guys the current leaderboard of the exhibition series. Well, I'm also kind of surprised at the position I am in right now. So yeah, so far it's been a really fun season, and I didn't really expect to score that many points with Peugeot in the end, considering the amount of competitors you've had in EMEA, especially the very fast drivers choosing the obvious meta cars here in the end. But nevertheless, from my side, it's always fun to pick those kind of cars, so that I can also try to overcome my own driving level even. Because for me personally, the motivation I have by choosing those slower cars, if I can say that, is in order to beat those meta cars, you are not really allowed to make any single mistake. So that helps in your consistency, and it also helps in you trying to achieve your very best performance on the very same day. Because for example, if you're doing like a 31.4 in the time trial session, and for the qualifying session, that means that if you would like to fight for the victory, like in my case, me joining Split 2 here, that means that I have to try and set consistently fast lap times within around the 31.5 or 31.6 even, so that I can always stay close to my personal best lap time I've done on the time trial session here. And on the very same time, it also gives me the opportunity to think about something else. For example, is there like any other strategy option where I can potentially beat the other cars here right next to me, right? So this is always fun, in my opinion, and also kind of challenging, because back in GT Sport, when I used to drive for Subaru back in the day, the WRX, I think in 2019, I believe, wasn't really the best car. But on the very same time, I still like to choose it in the end, because obviously with Subaru being my favorite manufacturer, and me also trying to qualify with Subaru for one day, I wanted to try and learn all the tricks of the car, and on the same time, if there was like a way for me to even become a better driver in the end. So yeah, but in the end, I think this is all about it. I'm still thinking about doing the last round of the exhibition series, which is at Daytona. Because of my work, I'm not really sure if I'm able to do it, but nevertheless, I will still try to find some time for it, so that I can also show you my POV from the Daytona race in the end. But I think that's all about it. Once again, I would like to thank you all for the support you've shown on the recent days, weeks, and even months. I'm always grateful for it, and I hope you guys also enjoyed this video here. On the very same time, I would like to wish you all a nice Sunday still, and also really good start for the following week. And if you also would like to do the final round of the Manufacturers Cup season on the following week, I would like to wish you all the best, and hopefully you all can finish the season quite strongly. So from my side, have a nice day everyone. Cheers!